Okay, Antonio, I'm sending you reminders for what we're talking about today.
Yeah, I need
All right. Well,
okay.
thank
No,
you.
put that. You could put that out. Let me see how. Okay, yeah, I did say I was going to start there, and I'm sitting at 17.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for hashtag building exclusively with Antonio. I'm not going to stay before you long. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to the myth, the man, the legend himself, the human Google. What else? The oracle of oracles, the prophet of prophets, the one, the only, Antonio T. Smith Jr.
All right. Good to see all of you in this morning. And yeah, Donia, what you were describing just sounds like Houston. Houston is equally problematic with traffic and driving. We have some stuff, and my arms hurt and stuff because I did a full workout this morning, more than normal. So I'm tired. I'm pumped up, but I'm tired. Both hands. So let's see. Yesterday, Friday, I told y'all I was going to go over how to decrease time for a sale because apparently that was mind-blowing for most of you. And then Deanna sent me a note, monitor your next sale, then think about the time you made it to sale. All right, then I know what I want to do. Okay, I remember I changed my whole agenda. Now I remember. All righty. So let's back up for a second, do a 1-minute review and a 5-minute prep of your mind. 1-minute review. We're attempting to make $100,000 at whatever frequency or time length that you desire. That's where we are. We're attempting to make $100,000, 10 years, 5 years, 12 years, 15. That's up to you. After that, the goal is to shrink that little at a, well, half at a time. That's also up to you. That's your review. Deanna's asking me for a title. So today I would call it using AI to build our personal brand. And we might be here for quite some time. Using AI to build our personal brand. Okay, that's the 1-minute review. Winston Churchill, I'm sorry, this is your 5-minute foundation laying. Winston Churchill defines success as moving from failure to failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's pretty solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. That might be on one of the only 5 quotes on the planet that I can remember, but it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. I forget how Earl Nightingale defines success, but I'll give you the gist of it without quoting it verbatim. Verbatim is a Latin word that means word for word. He says, nope, I forget it. So I'm going to paraphrase it now. Your moving to success is to have an ideal in obtaining of a worthy goal. He says something like that in The Stranger's Secret. Okay, I suck at quotes. Antonio defines success in 3 parts. Having a target or setting a target, then hitting that target and doing that target well. And all these 3 people, 2 of them are great. One dude is exhausted on camera with his hair, having a total bad hair day. They all say the same thing about success. And that is, it is something you do without losing enthusiasm in one way or the other. You have to hit some sort of goal. So we're setting here $100,000 goal. Everybody okay with that? Is it okay? All right. The problem with that, though, is that don't mean you're doing it with a worthy ideal, borrowing from Earl Nightingale. It doesn't mean you're not losing enthusiasm, borrowing from Antonio Smith. And it does not mean that you're hitting that target well. No, borrowing from Winston Churchhill. And it doesn't mean you're hitting that target well, borrowing from Antonio Smith. So we have to hit this target well. It used to be a struggle to define your target audience. Write this down, y'all. Target audience used to be a struggle. It used to be, you have some people who teach avatars. It's like a target audience, but it's a bit more myopic, narrow-minded, narrow-viewed, or local, to where inside all of that target audience, that demographic, them psychographics, whatever you may do, this avatar looks like Adonia. And Adonia represents all that will be like her. So this is when you start getting into the psychographics of things. You build out your female avatar, and then you build out your male avatar. All right, so that's 3 things you should have wrote down, Deanna. I need to see them in the chat. Number 1, it used to be a struggle to pick out your target audience. It used to be a struggle to pick out your avatars, both male and female. I don't really use avatar. I don't really say avatar, but since Deanna likes the word avatar, I've been using the word avatar lately, right? It's just not something I say. It's not something I don't think in that way. So that is to have this person named Julie, and Julie is the avatar explaining. Julie is an executive who started some business. She's been coaching for over 5 years. She makes $50,000 a year. She values personal development over income, and she has a discretionary $10,000 a year to spend or something, whatever your avatar would be. Mine, I'll give you the ATS education model avatar. I have different models for different things. Mine is a guy named Mike, who is a coach of some sort. This particular guy values personal development over income. He's just started coaching people, and he's absolutely addicted to it. He loves changing people's lives. He hasn't figured out how to get paid for it. And no, that's it. That's all Mike is. That's all. I think I got Julie after that. Julie is obviously a woman. She's a coach, but she's a business professional who wants to leave corporate America or has left corporate America. She is a blend of a feminist, an alpha woman, and a submissive woman. She is a coach, enjoys personal development, values personal development over income. She is an empath, and she doesn't like being told what to do. And if you think about both of those avatars, I just described everybody here. That last one sounded like Susan. It really just did. It sounded like Susan. I just described everybody here. So when I threw out leads and marketings, the colors and the words and the titles of the blogs or stuff were programmed to attract that type of person. Stop right there. I have literally taught the whole class. You just don't know it. That's called a lead magnet to a specific personality type, but not like Myers-Briggs. So let's not say personality type. To a specific psychographic is far more accurate than that. And I put something out there that person would be attracted to, and I scaled my business on psychographics. Harley Davidson, who rides a Harley? Everybody, but a certain type of everybody. You can have a biker gang member and a dentist in the same, well, they probably won't be in the same biker gang, but they'll have the same Harley. I don't think Sons of Liberty and Bob the dentist are in the same biker gang, but the Sons of Liberty are going to the dentist. There you go, something like that. So that wasn't a review, that was a setup for the rest of what we're getting ready to do. Because on this call, we're going to set up your avatars and your psychographics and everything I just said. That's why I had Deanna write it down. All that, I literally charged $999 to teach people this particular information. Now you can go to ChatGPT and build it. So it used to be a struggle. At this point, that is no longer a struggle. You don't even need to know your target audience anymore. All you have to do is say, I want to build a company like blank. And whoever blank is, as long as they were invented or in business before the year 2021, or nope, that's actually irrelevant because you can pay for ChatGPT 4, hook it up to the internet. No, they actually, never mind. No, you can't. They just took that down right now. Microsoft just took it down like last week or something. So never mind. You can't do that. Soon you will be. You will be able to connect to it. Or you can just go over to Google's Bard and do either way. You can just do that. Or let's say you just use ChatGPT for free. You can go find an article about the company. You can go find, let's say you're doing ClickFunnels. Well, no, ClickFunnels it's been out. Let's say some new company that Jerome Red just invented in 2022, and it's scaled to $1 million in 9 months. I speak all that over you, Jerome, in the name of Jesus. I speak that over you. And scale to $1 million in a month. All you got to do is just find some press release, highlight it up to 2,000 words or prompt for ChatGPT can take, put it in there and say, please analyze this company and give me the target, what you believe would be the target demographic. There will be your target demographic. And then you can start building this avatar stuff, simple as that. My point, I got you, Deanna. This is free and this is easy. Go ahead, Deanna.
Okay, you just said something. You just said something amazing. Okay, yeah. How, because I know somebody may have this question, is going to ask this question.
I'm going to eat my cucumber while you're talking too.
Or is going to watch
5
this later.
calories. 5 calories. Susan says you can eat as many vegetables as you want. So there you go. She's proud of me. Keep going.
Except potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about sweet potatoes?
I stay away from those anyway.
Yeah.
What about sweet potatoes?
You can have sweet potatoes occasionally. Eat them at the noontime, not dinner time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Burn it off metabolism.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Keep going, down.
I love sweet potatoes. Love sweet potatoes. The fries, the tater tot. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is my question. Hey, Antonio, I know you said that I can go and find a press release for a company that's like mine that did this and then did that. And I can go into ChatGPT and put in like a certain, put this press release or this description of this company into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to analyze it and tell me, who my target audience is based upon that. But Antonio, how do I know what company is like mine?
Well, that's why I started off the conversation with what I said. Winston Churchhill describes success as being going from one thing to failure to failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. You have to set a target. Deanna asked a good question, but it's not a good question. It's a good question and not a good question, all at the same time. And I'll give you both the scenarios. It's a good question if you have started moving and set a target. It's a bad question if you're still in the getting ready stage. You're using that question as an excuse not to set a target. So it's a brilliant question if you're like Adonia, you've already started, and you're saying, okay, I got my company, but what I would like to do is scale. So I want to such and such. See, Adonia is scaling her company now. Like, even if Jerome isn't doing videos and isn't writing his company out and isn't working on his company every day, he is, because his company exists. His company has already started. What Jerome is trying to do now is scale. Now, you may be scaling from $0, but just because you make $0 a year doesn't mean your company is not working. It just means you ain't got it together yet. You haven't figured out how to get to $1, right? That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything else. It's a brilliant question, and it's also
I told you about being
my
my driveway, bitch.
yes, sir.
Did I tell you about that?
Right. My bad. My bad. I keep doing this trespassing thing that they keep warning me about is illegal. My bad. I got you, Deanna. So bifurcating this response, how you find your target, how you find your company is somebody in whatever your product is. There's only 3 industries: health, wealth, and relationships. It's the only industries there are. Everything else is a division and the hierarchy of health, wealth, and relationships. No matter what it is, no matter how unique you are, it's health, wealth, and relationships. What is Facebook? Well, that's a tech company. In relationships, they combine people together. That's all. That's all. What is Apple? It is a company that does wealth. Why? Because they focus on generating wealth for people using their products. It's that simple. It's that simple. Okay, go ahead, Deanna.
Okay, so you are this guru type person. Your brain never ceases to amaze me. You pretty much know everybody here. So could you yeah, I can't ask for everybody. I can't.
That's fair.
But I'm hoping that they will whoever has this question will unmute their mic and ask you. I always say Lisa Nichols and you, and then you introduced me to Brene Brown. And so
I could do that. I see what you're saying. Keep going. You
Okay.
finish just so everybody can get it. But I know I'll call out everybody's who they should be targeting. I'll call out everybody. No, you finish your questions, everybody can get it. But I get where you're going.
So for me, it's a blend of two. It's the scientific straightforwardness of Brene Brown, but the oh my goodness, I love you all, life is amazing of Lisa Nichols. So would I go to both of them, do a description of their products or company, then go into and then take that and come and have ChatGPT combine those people for me to create my one person?
Of course. So you know what? I wouldn't have said that, but yes, you can combine 2 people because that makes sense. As a matter of fact, Phil and Susan should probably combine 2 people. One of them you may not see coming, they may see coming, but y'all may not see coming, but I'll give it to you. So let's do Deanna, you're Brene Brown with a Lisa Nichols spirit. There you go. Phil and Susan are Tony Robbins, but most of their things should be Barack Obama. Because at this particular age and what they're doing, Barack Obama is now not doing as much, but getting paid $250,000 per keynote or something like that. You get it? So that's that. When you build this legacy so tough, the legacy makes money in itself. Tony Robbins still works. They'll still work, but starting over and doing Tony Robbins stuff doesn't really make sense for Phil and Susan what they're trying to do right now. Sitting back and letting the vehicle collect the money as they go speak at South by Southwest, that makes far more sense for Phil and Susan. Okay, makes far more sense. So that's 2 people combined.
Tony Robbins is up here and I'm down here. I remember when I was with him. Yeah, I remember when I was with him, just like I think I came to his waist or something. I have a picture of him with Chad.
I think I saw it on your website too.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. I know I saw
yeah.
the one with on the Schwarzenegger.
And then I'm not sure. Can you repeat about Barack again?
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all have seen Barack Obama's career now. So after he stopped being president, what he did was started the Barack Obama Foundation. But that foundation is real sneaky brilliant because it's not a foundation like you typically would think it is. It's this media empire full of interns, as Phil like to let y'all know, full of interns that creates change with younger people. By young, I don't necessarily mean 20, but just people younger than Barack Obama. And this particular media agency, because that's what he has, all he does now is has this team of people that fits his vision for what he wants to do, and they execute his vision. And he's this active figurehead collecting whatever, however he makes his money. And from that, it pushed him and his wife to Netflix deals and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? All sorts of stuff. So what I was saying, not to be presumptuous, I was just saying for Phil and Susan to be striking deals for syndication makes a lot of sense at this particular phase of their lives versus starting a conference company. That's not all of what Tony Robbins does, but this is what the regular person would see for sure. Tony Robbins owns soccer companies and football, because it's not American football, but football, right? And all sorts of stuff like that. He owns plenty of things, it's professional sports league and stuff. But to have 4 conferences and to be traveling the world of conferences, that's right up Phil and Susan alley. They love that. They breathe that. Phil wants to die on stage. I think you said it before. I don't know if it was this one or Bureau Dama speaker, but that's exactly, he said that before though. He absolutely wants to die on stage. That makes sense. But then also to flip that and be on sitcoms and stuff and have documentaries on Hulu, that also makes sense. And that's why I blended Tony Robbins, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama together, because they're both brands. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama brands, Phil Obama, Susan Obama are brands. I played with the words, but you get the point, right? That's why I did that. Pick 2, because I don't know who Tony Robbins' wife is. I just know she's fantastic. I just know she's the second wife, and I think she's behind the scenes. That's all I know. I know who Michelle Obama is because the whole world knows, right? Things like that. Trinace, I actually have no idea. Some sassy woman that's on like dominating social media. Who would that be? Because that's exactly what it would be. Some sassy woman dominating social media.
Maybe a Wendy when Wendy was on her game, but she was although Wendy was gossipy, I didn't particularly like that part of her, but that's how she made her money.
That's spot on.
So she's spicy. She a Wendy spicy to me.
Yep, that's spot on. That's spot on. That's good. Wendy Williams before her karma caught up with her is what most people would say, because that's, yeah, there you go. All right. Melissa, Penguin Publishing. Jerome. I'll come back to Jerome. Go ahead, Phil.
Trinace could be a classy mom's Mabley.
Okay, that works. Yeah, that works. Didn't think of that one. That was way out of my mind. So that actually works. Let's see. Jerome. What's the new host? I used to watch the show all the time. His name starts with a D. And it's not what you expected, Jerome. Drew Hill. No, not Drew Hill. Drew Carey. Show Price is Right now. Let's say.
Yeah.
Jerome. You're absolutely Drew Carey. Absolutely. Just you're not white. And I think he lost a lot of weight and stuff. Absolutely. Go ahead.
What about Steve Harvey?
You can do that too. Is everybody's favorite uncle? They're both the same. Drew Carey is the white version of Steve Harvey. Wouldn't it probably be this man went from stand-up comedy to TV to now the younger generation gonna think he was only hosting Price is Right. That's it's just one of those things. But why did I bring up Drew Carey? Because I don't know if y'all remember he's incredible in improv. He had a whole little show of improv and stuff like that. But he's this lovable, huggable comedian that's no longer a comedian. He's a bona fide TV star, but multifaceted. Jerome or Steve Harvey, both of those work. You can mix the two up together. Penguin Publishing, Amazon for Melissa. Tracy would be Lisa Nichols. Like, I mean, seriously, like you channeling that for sure. Sandra would be a younger version of Oprah for the abused people. Janice would be some hot, sexy cougar mama that people want, right? So whoever that is out there. And that's it. That's everybody else. Simple. Finding this avatar allows me to do this now. You're going to create 20 leads for your male, 20 for your female. Hold on, let me say this because let me just say this one thing. But I don't want you to get stuck in male or female because the gender is far more fluid than you know. Far more fluid than you know. Far more fluid. You're going to have men be attracted to your lead magnet for women and women be attracted to your lead magnet for men. This is why we're doing it this way. I'll come back to that. Go ahead, Deanna.
You forgot Adonia.
I thought I did it on you. Okay, so Adonia. My novice brain wants to say Lisa Nichols, which makes sense, but that doesn't make sense. It does. Maybe 3 years ago I would have said that, but she's morphed into something different now. What would she be? Who out there?
Don't worry, I ain't figured it out either. Don't worry.
Yeah, you figured it out either. Okay, yeah. Let me
A business-minded Gail King.
Okay. I could deal with that. Gail King is powerhouse for sure. Powerhouse for sure.
Said Gail.
Very well respected. Yeah, Oprah's friend.
Oh, Miss Gail. Okay, got you.
Yeah, the esteemed journalist. Let's see. Oh, Miles Mabley character. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna keep thinking with the left side of my brain while I'm thinking, because Adonia is. Well, that's why she's having a difficult time. I can't peg her. She can't peg her. That's okay then. That's what happens though when you see the problem with people like Adonia. You can do many things, and it's hard to, right? It's hard to find somebody that, because in one case you got the passion for the youth, but really the women, that's her thing now. But she has this business mindset, even though she don't like to talk about business. Then she has this personal development mindset, even though she don't believe in like motivation. She's got all these, all these little caveats everywhere. She sells herself every day. Everybody loves her, but she don't like sales. Yeah, so it's a bunch going on there. I'm gonna keep thinking that's pretty good. I did think Michelle Obama. I absolutely did.
Oh yeah. No, she's so debonair and classic, and oh no. And then even when she, is talking about you, she talks about you so sweet, but she'll stab you and you don't even know you got picked. She is so good at saying stuff and really calling the person out without calling them out. She's so sad. I wish if I can have an ounce of Michelle. I saw her in person. That woman is so dynamite. I love her.
Yeah, she
so
is.
That would be a wish. Or a dream, maybe.
Yeah. Now, what does come to mind is Regina King. Like, does come to mind, Regina King.
Yeah, that's sassy. Yep. Well, she.
Yeah, she
is.
She need farmer. Pull up Regina King so everybody can see who I'm talking about.
She's pretty sassy.
But she's extremely versatile, though. Girl, you sassy. Wait a minute. That almost snuck past me.
But in a different way, though. She's sassy, classy. I'm kind of just sassy and short and got a mouth on me sometime. I had to have a moment with my boss this weekend, and not this weekend, last week. And I just had to call him out. I just went straight into this. I'm not babysitting no more. I'm done.
But see, this I was getting ready to tell you. Do me a favor, Deanna, put up Regina King voice characters. Voiceovers. That's her. Just put voiceovers. Let's hit backspace and hit over. There you go. She's done many. Huey, Riley, Dynamite. She's done all of them. Yeah, go ahead and see if we can get a list of them. She's done shows that nobody even thinks about. She's done this character, Dynamite. Look, these are all her characters, and nobody even knows. Yeah.
Can I say this?
She's versatile. Go ahead, yeah, because some of these your shows you watch. Yeah, go ahead, Sandra.
Adonia, and y'all, do y'all remember in Enemy of the State when Regina King found out that
That
all
movie
this stuff
sure
was,
came true.
yes, it
We
was
sure
already
thought that was a
being done.
movie
It
in
got pulled out.
2000.
It got pulled out. But when she was talking to Will and he was trying to convince her, no, it's not happening, nothing's going on. And then she said, look, just leave. I just want you going. That's so Adonia. That's you. That's look, I hear you. I got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Just leave. And then when he just kept pressing, like, wait a minute, I want you to understand what I'm saying. I would never. But you just leave so I can think. Yeah, I see you doing that. Okay.
I love you, Miss Sandra. That was cute. I love you. And I'm feeling that now all of a sudden. I'm gonna be a little Regina today. Let's see how that works out.
Oh man, let's see it. Let's see it. Yeah, Regina versatile. She one of them people we sleep on. She versatile. For sure. I've never met a baby Scorpio or Scorpio start off at 37 years old with attitudes. All Scorpios, 37. My son's a Scorpio. He was born 37 years old.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Mhm. He was born 37. We talked about price points. I told you about that stuff when we was talking. Y'all remember the price points, right? When I said, if you have a low price point, here's your pros and cons. This you like to get yourself, and I promise you I was going to give y'all some numbers and stuff. I'm doing it right now. Oh, Deanna's telling me I forgot Miss Frida. Frida, what we doing, Frida? I don't know how long you've been on. Is we're picking like people to emulate. Is what it really. This is what I would say. That's why I wouldn't say avatars. My vocabulary is a bit higher than avatar. Emulation, and in particular, Frida's particular case, she would be. It's good. Man, it's good. Okay, I'm stuck on Frida too. She is that we need to find that cool auntie that got that knowledge. So I can't think of a person, but I can think of characters like Medea. Tyler Perry's Medea. I can think of characters, not a person, but so I need to find somebody like Medea, Aunt Bam. That's who it is, or Tamala Man. That's Frida. That's Frida. Aunt Bam or Tamala Man. Either one of them. Take me to the king.
What about Angela?
All right now.
Yep. Well, Angela Bassett fits more of Adonia than anybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I probably should have said that first. Yeah, fits more Adonia than anybody. I know she ain't gonna say that by Angela Bassett not being. She probably grew up. She remembered Tina, Angela Bassett arms. You understand? So how do we figure out how to accomplish all this stuff? We got a lot to write down, okay? We have a lot to write down. Wait, because I'm gonna get lost in translation here. Let's title this particular section You need to be a lion waiting for the right gazelle. This is my point for the next 30 minutes of this conversation. Lion waiting for the right gazelle. I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking the lion has to eat. Is this okay? This is nature of animals, and we are the head of the animal kingdom. And as saved as Tracy is, she got to eat. As much as Adonia don't want to sell you, she got to eat. You can't pray over the bank account. I was working out and I was listening to a motivational video. I mean, this dude went off too. It's at the very beginning too. I'm gonna share it because he went off. And I was like, ooh, if I said that, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I sure agree with it though. I sure did. He cussing, they bleep it out. I mean, he's going off. And I'm gonna pause right where this is the preamble of what I'm trying to get y'all to see for this next section.
Balls in your fucking court. No more fucking around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you.
I'm pausing. Okay. This is what he about to say next. That's 12 seconds. This is how I start off, Phil. This man, 12 seconds. I had the weights in my hand. He's cussing me out. That's the kind of stuff I like. Don't give me this energy. I need this energy. 12 seconds in. I want y'all to see who he say can't help you. And boy, do I agree. Listen.
It's up to you this year. It's up to you. The ball's in your fucking court. No more fucking around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't help you.
There you go. 15 seconds in. That man say God can't help you. He's right. I'm glad he said it, so I won't get in trouble. Pray all you want to. But God ain't lifting them weights for you. God ain't putting that cucumber in your mouth. That's my right hand. That is not God doing that. It could have been cupcakes. I picked a cucumber, 5 calories, 95% water. God ain't doing that for me. That's me. So this entire next section is you understanding that you are a lion and you just need one gazelle. That's the title. You can shorten up however you want to shorten up. I don't have a business way of giving this to you, but that's my title. This is what it is. Feel the wordsmith it later. That's my mindset. That's what it is. I need you to receive that the lion is the king of the jungle. Not really sure why we say that because lions don't live in the jungle, but anyway, the lion is the king of the jungle. I have no idea why we say that. But the lion is not bigger than a shark. Lion's not big as an elephant. Lion's not the fastest. The lion is not the strongest. No. Wait a minute, don't you? I'm not sure if we ever critically think about the fact that the lion is the most apex predator on the planet, on land. The shark would be equivalent to the lion in water. The apex, this means it has no natural predator. The lion is the king of the land. And it's not the strongest, not the smartest, doesn't civilize anything, ain't the biggest, ain't the baddest. You know what the lion is? Has this mentality that says, y'all gonna do what I say. Moving from around here. Go ahead, Phil.
And it's the female lion that does the hunting.
Oof. Not only is that the truth, but I feel like there's a message in there somewhere. Ooh, I've never tried that, Susan. I would do that. I got some hummus in there. Yeah, I could eat my body weight in hummus. I really can. I don't, but I can though. Hummus is that good. I really can. I can eat my whole body weight in hummus.
Women are the stronger sex.
No doubt. You ain't gonna tell me. I 2 thumbs up with Phil. I agree. First off, I ain't having no babies.
When we need the muscle, we'll have it. If our kid is under a car, we'll find a way to pick the car up.
Yeah, I have a saying that women, the only time women need men is when that roach start flying. That's it. That roach start flying, kill that roach.
Or the spiders start crawling.
Yeah, something like that. That's it. Kill that roach, kill that spider, move.
You can add a mouse to that too, please.
Okay, a mouse to that too.
Okay, I get those myself. Not the mouse though, but the others.
the others for sure. So what do I mean by the lion? Well, first off, I know that Frida, that lion has that mentality. It's the lion's mentality that makes it the king. It's not its attributes. There's something about the lion that gets up and says, one of these gazelles got to die.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
you said it in the beginning, but you didn't say it afterwards. The right gazelle.
You understand? Because that's where I'm going, Jerome. And I got like 16 steps to get the right gazelle.
It's right like the song, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. That's my theme song.
Yeah, it's a good song too.
And that, I don't know who did that.
Somebody smart.
Who did that song? 'Cause that could be
Mhm.
someone's avatar.
Yeah. Look it up,
Mine.
Deanna. Look it up. Yeah, look it up.
Because
The
I've
right,
had to fight my way for everything.
I know for sure. I agree. Women, and that's typical of women today. Yeah, I don't. We need to do something with society to make women stop competing over.
It started when I went for my first job at, I mean, I did entrepreneur little things, but my
Mhm.
first going to
Yeah,
into a place and asking for a job. And, he looked at me like I couldn't do the job physically.
yeah. So there's a great book. Deanna, show your Google screen real quick. I know the subtitle: Knowing When to Cooperate, Knowing When to Compete. Knowing When to Cooperate, Knowing When to Compete is a subtitle. It's one of the greatest books I've ever read that describes what Susan is talking about. Knowing When to Cooperate, Knowing When to Compete, book. And just put, Knowing When to Compete, and then put book. I read Thinking Fast and Slow, Friend or Foe. Okay. I read both of them at the same time. That's why I was forgetting the title. Friend or Foe. Stop there real quick. Friend or Foe, Knowing When to Cooperate, Knowing When to Compete is a psychological research book. And in this book, the author exposes why women have such a hard time in civilized countries, specifically America. And it's all research based. It's not even opinionated. And it starts with the fact that since men dominate industry, well, let me start. He was talking about how women are catty and women do this and do this and do this and do this. And then he exposed all that as wrong. That's not what women do. That's what women are forced to do. And he showed the things forcing that behavior. And it was, to give you the end of the story of this particular chapter, it's because women are forced to compete for one job, and 3,000 women have to compete for that job, while 3,000 men have 30,000 jobs they get to apply for, underqualified. So when you force a woman to compete for one job, and it's 3,000 women had to compete, she knows that if she gets it, if she loses it, she ain't gonna never get it again, or that opportunity. And that creates this mentality, and this is the word he used, to where women start acting like bees and they sting anyone that's around their thing they accomplished, because they're just protecting their hive. And it took them this huge, massive effort to get here against the odds. It was impossible for them to get there. It's probably going to be impossible for them to get back. They realized this. This is why this is how the chapter ended. A woman, when she walked into a college professor class, says, "My name is Dr. Tracy Armstrong." But a man can go into college class and say, "Hey, call me John." A woman can't do that because she's already not getting the respect of her colleagues. So she has to then continuously say, "Respect me." And these underlying behaviors. And then the punchline of that whole chapter was, men cause this. Men, their hiring practices, their business structures, all cause the fact that we've been doing this for so long that underlining, we force women to compete for things they shouldn't have to.
That's why I, growing up, when I grew up, and, and then having 3 older brothers, the place, that's why the show I'm telling you about, it's about a woman that, went through a divorce.
Yeah, we put it up. I didn't realize it was 5 seasons.
Yeah, and then it's like, she wants to be a comedian, and she gets by default, by the situation, to be a writer on a show, and being pushed around and all the things that went on. And that's the time, I was growing up and witnessing all that. And then the 70s come, and we, it turned around. 60s, 70s, I think, with Kennedy coming in, and Jackie Kennedy, because she was, independent, she was a photographer. She really wasn't that interested in being first lady. She really wanted to do what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that caused conflict for them.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of reason why I respect Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, so much.
Yes.
She's still teaching.
Yep.
As first lady. Let me tell you something. If you make me first lady, I'm not teaching nothing. You hear me? Like I'm first lady, first gentleman. I don't care. First anything. I'm sitting back. I ain't teaching nothing. I'm losing my damn mind. Chef, bring this in here. I ain't doing that. So shout out to her.
The first gentleman, he calls himself the first and second gentleman, the vice president's husband. He was on Good Morning America this morning, and he's doing a whole project. I mean, he could be sitting around, but he's extremely busy all the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know much about him. This whole presidency has been so quiet. I typically I read about it instead of seeing things on TV, and I guess I got overwhelmed by the last thing. So quiet may be a little good. Who knows, right? Who knows? Jamal. Jerome's right. Sorry, Jerome. You're Jamal now, though. Jerome's right. The right gazelle. So let me tell you what lions do. Lions, and this is the power of the animal kingdom. Lions don't go out there, kill 100 gazelles, go put it in their refrigerator, okay, and be wasteful, let them rot, and then blah, blah. No. Lions eat what they kill, only what they kill, and every morning they do it again. And every morning a lion opens his eyes. That lion says, one of these gazelles got to die. And what the lion does is he stoops down in this predatory stance. And he's not looking for a dead gazelle, not looking for the strongest gazelle. That lion is picking the right one that is going to be caught. And if that is not a metaphor for lead magnets, I don't know what else is. That's lead magnets. It really is. Your videos, your content, your blogs, your books need to be sitting in a predatory stance, waiting for someone to push play. And the right prospect will become the gazelle you take into your bank account. So how do you set that up? Did everybody get that analogy? If you keep trying to chase customers, you're going to stress yourself out.
Here's another example.
Yeah.
If a lamb loses its mother, it's by itself and will probably die because no other mother will take it in. But if a mother that has a baby loses, then if they go over and take the fur, the skin off of that baby that died and put it on that orphan baby over top of it, that mother would then nurse that baby. So it's like putting that covering over you of your avatar.
That is brilliant and all new information to me. That was brilliant and all new information. It fit perfectly. Absolutely fit perfectly. Great analogy. Adonia don't want to sell. Perfect. Don't. But your content needs to. Y'all get it? I didn't say go on your content and sell. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not the, if you think about it, if I got to sell you, you're probably not the right person. In many cases. In many, for most of y'all brands, if you got to, like, if Adonia got to convince me she's a good woman for me to date her, she gonna be like, I'm not gonna do that with you, little boy. It just makes sense. If she has to convince me she's a good woman, she's gonna be tired in 3 seconds in that conversation and move on and mind her business again. So we don't, I really wish sales videos with these tactics would just go away and like pass away. I really wish, but that's okay. They won't. And that's okay. They need to be out there so the Tracys can look different. They need to be out there. Your content needs to provide so much value that it gets the right gazelle. This is all I'm talking about, and I'm about to teach you how to do it. Go ahead, Phil.
Marianne Williamson's yesterday, I think, was her birthday. And you know what she did?
Mm-mm.
She said to people, he says, today's my birthday. I want you to do this. I want you to send me $1. That's all, just $1. So she's
$1.
polling her audience.
Yep. To see who's gonna send $1.
Yeah, we're gonna send her $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me this last night when I was
That's
almost asleep, so I wasn't appreciative.
Fair enough. No, that
But
makes
now
sense.
I will
You're
today.
Right.
You got
Susan,
Marianne
is
Williamson
Phil cheating on
2020.
you?
2020.
2024, Marianne Williamson 2024, and send her $1.
Send her $1. That is
So
brilliant.
she's trying to find her gazelles.
Mhm. There you go. So, okay, Phil, just put the bow on this conversation I'm having. Go ahead, Jerome.
No, I was teasing Susan. I said, I think Phil's cheating on her.
No, Marianne Williamson was married to
What's in her $1?
Phil hit the nail on the head. She is polling her audience, sifting her audience. Hey, gazelles sitting in this thing, care to donate? This is how it works. And there's nothing wrong with that, because see, we all respect you got to sell something. Everybody respects that. What we don't respect is you making me look stupid or you getting over on me while you do it. That we don't like. See, I don't mind when Tracy get mad at me and start yelling and talking loud. She ain't yelling and talking loud at me. But the moment she directed at me, we got a problem. These are two different things. You can yell and talk loud all you want to.
Antonio,
Yes,
she's
sir.
also getting their attention because she's only asking for $1. So my brain be sitting there going, wait a minute.
Right,
Why is she only asking for $1?
right.
I like her. She's somebody, well, let me send her $1.
That's
Bingo.
called psychology of sales. She is
Yes.
training you to buy from her.
But you know, it's interesting in that case, you know, and I don't have an opinion. I like her as an author for sure. So I don't have a strong opinion about her from a political standpoint. If she might be great, I don't know. But I would say, you know, that's all she wants. I might hit 10 just because she can ask me for a bunch of money.
Point proven. That's the right gazelle. Y'all know who invented that, right? Who changed politics? Well, somebody changed politics forever, and then somebody came after that and changed politics forever again. We had two politics changes that changed politics forever. It was Barack Obama. Barack Obama won the presidency by getting a little $2, $3 from the millennials. That became the trend. But then Donald Trump came in and changed presidency all over again. So, two changes, two different ends of the spectrum. But the way Donald Trump raised money was absolutely brilliant. It really was. And it's one of those things that you really just need to pay attention to. Donald Trump has gazelles that are willing to fight lions. That's his right gazelles. It just is his right gazelles. There's an audience for everybody. You just gotta go get it. So how do we go get that? How do we go get it? What do we do first, etc.? The first thing you need to do is you need to speak into a language in which your audience can understand. And you need to speak into a language in which your audience can understand. And if I tell you this is why most companies fail. And I know, look, Tracy, the government's going to tell you most companies fail because of lack of funding. You know why they got lack of funding? For lack of understanding, lack of communication. Speak into a language. I'm sorry, Deanna. Speak in a language. Speak into and in. Those are two different prepositions. Speak in a language. I know you help me out, Tracy. You know I'll be messing up over here sometime. Speak in a language in which your audience can understand. What do I mean by that? I got my hand up first. How many of you built a company with people you didn't like? I'm talking about customers, not like friends. I'm talking about the customers. Okay, a few of us. It happens. It happens. And it happens more than you think. Let me define to you people you don't like. How many of you got customers who don't buy from you? Come on. I better get more hands now. Mm-hmm. Those are people you don't like. So, don't let my phrasing throw you off. But I did that on purpose to prove to you the first way I said it, my audience did not understand. The second way I said it, I got more hands. And that was a great example of what I'm talking about. Speak in a manner in which your audience can understand. One of the greatest examples on the planet of someone who is a massive success because they speak, and it's, write this down, Deanna, easy to follow and at an even level with their audience. That means me too. I would say me too level. I used to say that, but now me too means something different. So I can't do that. An even level, a you and I, an equal level. Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is extremely easy to follow. You've never listened to a Joel Osteen message and been confused. You don't even get overwhelmed. You listen and go, wow, I understood that. That's it. He makes a living being easy to follow with an even tone. Here are more people, some are controversial, but guess what? It works regardless. What am I proving here? Easy to follow, even tone. Donald Trump. Donald Trump's so easy to follow, you get confused. He's so easy to follow. What did he say? So easy to follow. It's third grade level. There's no doubt about it. Joe Rogan is another person, easy to follow, speaking evenly to his audience. Joe Rogan is not saying, hey, conspiracy, I know this and you don't. Joe Rogan's going, but I don't get this. And he's having these dialogues, holding people for 3 hours over a podcast. Joe Rogan was so easy to follow that the World Health Organization had to say something about his COVID-19 content in his part. Do you understand when one dude makes the World Health Organization change COVID-19 protocols and force social media to say you need to put a little thing here? We see it now. That was Joe Rogan, nearly single-handedly. His audience is so big. He speaks in this tone that makes you go, man, I feel you. You got to do that with your audience. This is not about money. Before you, if you haven't picked the avatar, speak easily, you attract them. If you have an avatar, speak easily, you will attract them. Or you will convert them, I mean, period. You have to change your language according to your brand. You must. And most of y'all have pride against this. I'm gonna pause. We have to talk about this. We absolutely must talk about this. We must. Who's first? Here's my argument. I'm gonna give you my thesis, my argument, and you're gonna say, or whatever. It's up to you. Most people have pride against changing your language to fit your brand as your customers perceive it. Who first?
I'll go first. I know
Thank
a lot of, because I started off that way. because I didn't know how to talk to my artists. Because in my head, dude, this is how you do it. But they weren't hearing that. But then the moment I actually shifted, the moment I paid attention to an artist's personality, and I changed how I spoke to him, he actually started doing what I needed him to do.
Right.
While all of the artists were hungry, there was the very last one I had, because I used to tell all the other ones, well, you got to sell tickets. With this guy, I didn't say you got to sell tickets. I told him, I said, hey, we all have to start somewhere. And while you are a great artist, not everybody knows who you are just yet. So we have to do some legwork before we can get to the point where you don't have to do any legwork. And I told him, I said, so for this particular organization, we have to sell so many tickets in order for you to get paid for that.
This is so good.
Versus, hey, we got to sell tickets. If you want people to show up, you got to sell tickets. I changed my communication. And when I did that, he actually sold more tickets for his first show than any other artist that I had.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna poke the beehive a little bit and frustrate some of y'all on purpose to have y'all keep real like Deanna. Your example is so good, but I'm gonna spin it. Had Deanna had this brain she has now, she would have realized this artist and her artists, when she had a PR agency, were never her customers. They were her product. The customers were the people buying the tickets. Your business model should have been having steps and process and procedures and quotas that an artist must have to sell these tickets. And some of y'all have companies like this to where you think your current customer is your actual audience, and that's not the truth. If your money ain't coming from them, that's your product.
Oh my God. And if I would have had this mindset then, I would have understood then, because I was focused on artist development, which means I get no money from the artist.
Right.
Absolutely
so
not.
then,
but I got a commission from ticket sales, distribution deals, and the signing of the contract that they would decide that is your customer. You're like a real estate agent. You're doing 40 hours a week for free in hope of making one sale this month. Exactly what I was freaking doing. Oh,
that's a real estate agent. Like real
okay.
estate agents work 70 hours a week to get one sale. The sale is good. I'm not saying it's not, but they're working for free. They're working for free until sale. A lot of us, that's you, Deanna, having wrong audience. And let me poke the beehive a little bit. I'm gonna repeat my thesis for cohesion purposes. Most people have the wrong language for the audience they're attempting to attract. And they have pride in speaking that audience's language. Poking the beehive. I'm a Christian, I can't say that. I'm a woman, I can't say that. And I ain't talking about cussing or nothing. I say I can't go over there. I can't do this. But your audience is over there. You literally built a business. How many of you are how many of you are devout Christians? Come on, raise your hands. Raise your hand. You got Jerome, got Susan, got Tracy, and a few more. Janice. How many of you have Christian customers actually paying you money? This is the problem. This is the problem. Christians are terrible customers. They're terrible customers. They're terrible customers. They are. Christians.
Mr. Smith, let me cut you a little bit, okay?
Go ahead.
All right. Melissa punched me in my face, told me you leaving money on the table. Because I was waiting for my spiritual book to come out before I promoted the kids' book. And I thought about what she said, and I went, Jerome, you know she right. But you know she right. So I go to my church, okay? I went to the pastor first, okay? And I says, hey, here's how I want to do this, but I don't want to turn the church into a chicken dinner type place. he understood that. He said, well, why don't you call them, let them know you're going to have it on Sunday, and then after church. Well, I right now I'm about 50. I'm gonna say about 50%, about 60% of the folks have bought my book.
No
and
doubt.
I'm
keep going.
And I'm in church Sunday, and one of the ladies come back. She said, "Jerome, I need to get another book." Blah 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 blah. And I went, "Okay, I got them in the truck. I'll see you after service." Okay. She said, "Remind me, because you know I get busy." She got the book. So, but here's the point, and this is not to slay you, but you're absolutely correct in this regard. They Christian folk, but I believe they bought the book.
Hey, I'm about to come to that.
Because of me.
That's right.
Because of who I am.
That's right.
Because I didn't have to push anybody to track them down and blah blah like that. They wanted to support me.
Okay.
Because they like Jerome.
That's right. I got it written down right here. Christians are terrible customers. They only buy from big companies, but they're great donators. And if
their money spends, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, they got plenty of money. But you can't be a small business or an entrepreneur and expect Christians to buy from you unless you're using donation language. I'm proving my thesis. You need to change your language. That's what you did, Jerome.
And Tony, I agree with that. I agree. If you're not using the proper language, you're using up a lot of energy. Just like you talk about the gazelle and the lion, use up a lot of energy, and eventually you're not going to get that gazelle, and you sit there,
right?
And you got to go back and try again tomorrow.
Absolutely, Christians will donate. The Christians would do this here. Susan, don't even worry about this. I just wanted to buy from you. Give it to somebody else. You get that book. Let me buy 2 of them. You have to speak this language.
Antonio, 2 of the brothers in the church. The one gave me $100, right?
See what I'm saying?
Gave me $100. He got his book, right? And he said, "Now, if anybody else need, and that happened too."
That's the language, man.
And then another brother came back and says, "I need 4 more." And I went, "Where'd that come from?"
You got to change your language. You see, you're getting the conversation.
Yes.
But when you're a Christian, and this is why I said we poke the bear a little bit. I'm not, at no point am I saying negative things about Christians. Christians buy from big companies all the time. Christians do not buy from small entrepreneurs. It's too risky, and Christians don't like risk. They serve a God not to have risk. Go ahead, Susan.
Well, it's like, when we did corporate America, a lot of it, were Christians, and they liked that whole thing. But then when it came down before going on stage, oh, by the way, don't say anything Christian on there because, we don't know who else is in the audience.
Exactly.
Okay. Because sometimes Phil might say something and then, they don't want him to do that. So
Christians do not bend easily. And once you bend them the wrong way, they never coming back. They're never coming back. Like Phil cannot.
He was going around pulling his zipper down on stage. So,
And then right there, they're going to burn his CDs. And it's, come on now. We've seen we've seen this here. And I'm not talking bad about Christians. I said, let me poke the bear. Christians are great spenders, but not to little people, unless it's donation language. Unless it's donation. I'm trying to prove the point that you need to have pride and switch your language to help me with my book instead of buy my book. And most people have pride against such a thing. You get me, Jerome? Most people we go, I'm not fit to ask. Well, then you ain't finna make the money. Remember, I started this particular section off by saying, we lions find the right gazelle. The right gazelle. And it is, with a Christian, give the Red Cross for sure, without even text 44523 to Red Cross. Not a problem. I'll text that real quick. Is a Christian going to give to Frida Mitchell cafe? No, unless Frida Mitchell Cafe, watch this, switch the language to wrong, is helping people, or her son needs to go to college, or come on now, you know what I'm talking about, right? Or it's for a scholarship foundation. Oh, well, give me $300 worth. Here's $300 for that one plate. Because Christians love to give. Now, y'all not gonna like this though. But there's a mentality in Christian giving, Islamic giving, any giving. Remember this. You're not gonna like this, but it's the truth, the psychology. When you change something in donation, this is all giving, okay? It doesn't matter what it's. Donation means I'm giving downwardly. Whether you like that, do you want to admit it or not? Donation means I'm giving downwardly. On the rare occasion, does donation mean giving upwardly? I'll explain that to you. God, I ain't got nothing. This is my last $20. So I'm giving for you to return this back to me. This is how giving works. Think about this. If you go buy a $200,000 house, and that house is worth only $200,000, you're not going to buy it. Because when we spend money, we only spend money upwardly. We only spend money to say, this gonna bless me, even if it's dumb money. This cocaine gonna bless me. It's upwardly. I'm gonna have a good time in the next 8 hours or something, whatever that may be. But when we donate, it's downwardly. And hear me well, my argument is very sound. We're looking for the right gazelle. Some gazelles, Adonia has to come down and go, can you help me retire from my job? And if you don't, you need to go to a different audience. And some of us, listen to me, have audiences that have a donation mindset, and that's why they don't buy from you, Tracy. Because all your videos are the high mindset. And they're not going to buy from you because you don't need them. God's blessing you.
This is good, sir. This is good.
Thank you so much, Frida. I'm just trying to.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, because if somebody and I know that's what people do. They be like, oh, well, why should I give to that person? Because that person looked like they already got it all together. They trying to get it together. And so, but how do I okay, then help me with that, because I know me, and I'm not going to go on camera and not looking, and my videos are going to be of quality. I'm trying to make them of quality because I believe in doing things in excellence.
Right.
And I got to change my audience, but how do I get the different audience that will say, hey, let me give to her?
Your language will attract your audience. You are targeting Christian people who give downwardly, though. Your language is now attracting you a new audience. You just need to be patient until that just washes itself out. But when you started your business, you went to your Christian friends who give downwardly. And what happens when you create, I introduced this Friday. I did it real slick. When you get the wrong audience, the audience don't like, one thing happens, and it's always both ways. Envy. You end up envying and getting upset with that audience. If you got one customer, you're going to hate them. If you got one business, you're going to hate it.
And you're using a lot of air quotes, sir. You're just using a lot of air quotes. What in the world? But I don't deal with Christians either, because they be saying, God said, gift this to me. God didn't tell me. God didn't tell me. I'm sorry. I got different energy. I need that different energy from you.
It's
remember. Can I just? I'm stuck on
you should hold on real quick, Tracy. I want to just clear up something real quick. Okay. Tracy's problem is not a problem. She started with people that give downward. Now she's attracting. You need to bust a Marianne Williams and just sift your audience. Like, yeah, give me $1. and just sift, just create you a little pond inside your pond for the right people, and just respect the fact you got 2 customers. You think you got 33. No, you got 2. That's okay, because 2 is better than 0. And what do? You go bust a Phil Sorrentino, you ask those 2 for 4 referrals apiece. And now you got a whole different ball game going on. Because people refer like-minded people. Y'all get it? Okay, go ahead, Tracy.
I was just gonna say, can we not generalize Christians? I know we use, and I know it's not, because it's not all Christians, and I'm just stuck on that. I'm trying to get unstuck on the generalization of Christians.
Fair enough. I'll fix my language so you won't be stuck. But I'm also not saying anything bad. Giving is downward. Like donating is downward, right? I haven't actually attacked Christians. Donating is downward. But we're going to split this conversation up in 3 parts, because I'm still going to say the word Christian, I have no choice. I'm still going to say the word Islam, I have no choice. These words are out there. Let's go with big C. That's Christianity in itself. That's the body of the church. That conversation is not happening nowhere. That's the big C. Okay. Then we're going to go with little c. That's your local body. And then we're going to go with kingdom minded. I think that will make you feel far better. Okay. All right, then. Because we know church folk and kingdom minded folk are not the same thing. I don't think anybody would be upset with me for saying that. Okay. Tracy's clapping. All right. We got no problem now. I have no problem fixing my language, because we're having a conversation about using language that can be understood. And Tracy said, I'm stuck. So Antonio in real time needs to fix his language. But this is not a bad conversation. We're not saying Christians don't give. I am telling you, the only reason it sounded at first because Jerome interrupted me and talked, and I didn't get to finish my sentence, but I came back. Where Christians give greatly to big companies. Remember, if local bodied people who are a religion, okay, this is no longer Islam, this is that particular mosque. This is no longer Christianity, this is that particular church body. Is this okay? Local bodied religious people don't like risk. You have a faith to an entity to take away your risk. And if the people creating tech companies don't come out of Ebenezer Baptist Church on Harlem and 25th Street. Think about it. Silicon Valley don't have a church in it. Beverly Hills don't have a church in it. I need you to receive that where churches exist or religious establishments exist, that's also a drug-infested area. Prove me different. If you give me more than one church in a 3 square block radius, they sell drugs there. Think about it. I can tell you why, but I won't right now. I'm gonna let that hang out there for a little bit. Think about it. If you give me a very affluent neighborhood, there's no church there. The church is outside the neighborhood. The mosque is outside the neighborhood, but it's not in River Oaks. You know why? What does Athens have to do with Jerusalem? That's a popular saying that I didn't come up with. Athens, the city of philosophy, Jerusalem, the city of praise, the people of praise. The two things don't go together. Let me tell you why. Because religion divides. We're not talking bad about religion. But if I have 4 religion, let's just say church, if I have 4 churches in a neighborhood, and that neighborhood is 6 blocks long, Susan could wear pants at one, Susan could preach at one, Susan can't wear pants at the other. And that division creates chaos. And that chaos creates confusion. Jerome, help me out. The devil is what?
The author of confusion.
I don't make this up, y'all. I don't make this up. The reason why drugs are around churches are not that the church put their neighborhood in a drug infested area. The actual building created confusion and over generations created the drug infested area. You don't have to believe me. I'll take it. All you church folk do not live in the neighborhood in which your church is in. How about that? You don't even live in the same zip code that you worship in. Because what does Athens have to do with Jerusalem? So receive this. Some of you have religious people in your organization. You have to talk to them differently. Now let's stop. I have yet, Jerome, to say a single bad thing about religion. I have yet to say a bad thing about the church. I have yet to say a bad thing about Muslims. I haven't even brought up Jews yet. I'm trying to prove the thesis that you have to talk to people properly and you build that avatar. Some of y'all need a third avatar, people who only give when it makes them feel good to give. I'm gonna say it again, Adonia. Some of y'all got, how many of you know that, I ain't saying it's you, but you know somebody. As soon as they help Susan, now, girl, I had to help Susan. Mm-hmm. Who know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, thank you so much. I sure appreciate you. How many of you know people who can't do anything good unless they film it?
I do.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Oh my God, I gotta help this homeless person. Oh, put the camera on me. Come on. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I am trying to show you the target audience. And if some of y'all would increase your income 10x if you let people film giving to you, your organization. If you let people put you on an Instagram story, I don't know what to tell you. I just know I don't have no pride involved in this thing. I am very good at going, white people help me, please. And I'm also very good at, hey, white people come follow me. I can do both. Don't bother me. Because when in Rome, do as the Romans. Or if you don't like that, I became, help me out, Jerome, help me out. Help me out. Paul said, come on, Paul, come on.
To the weak, I became weak. To the Jew, I became a Jew.
I became all things.
All things are all that I may say
men.
so.
Come on now. So however you want to say it, I am spitting biblical principles. I'm just doing it in my rough Antonio Smith way that is synonymous with my brand. But it 100% does make sense and it does jive with your spirits. You have to understand the language of your audience, but you need to know what your brand is before you do it. Because I'm not asking you to change. I'm asking you to change the language as you deal with different people. This is why this is why they create campaigns. So you can have one email list, but you need to have different campaigns. You can't email everybody the same way. You can't. I'm a tech person with a tech mindset. I have high risk. I like high risk situations. So if your thing gives me low risk, I'm not your customer. First off, I'm going to be bored. I probably won't even get the email. If so, I'm going to be bored. Then I'm going to be like, well, I just ain't gonna get return on investment here. I'm looking for 25%. I don't want 3%. It's boring. I can do that in the stock market, right? So I'm not your customer. But if you say, Antonio, could you help? Oh, tell me more. I love to help. Sure do. Now, I got 3 versions of me, Susan, that want to help. Version number 1, God is good. That's the best answer I'm gonna get. The rest of them are terrible. Okay, God is good is the best one. Version number 2, my ego liked it. Version number 3, I felt good today. More than usual. Maybe I worked out. Maybe you cute. Maybe Deanna rolled on my head a little way. I don't know what happened. I felt good though, so I gave it to you. I didn't even think about it. 3 versions of me. Am I Tracy's customer? Absolutely not. Will I buy a conference trip from Tracy? Absolutely, I will. I don't, what Tracy does, not only do I not need, I hate motivation in itself though. Remember, like, I don't even like motivation. Because if I got to motivate you, you're doing the wrong thing. That does not mean don't do motivation. It just means I'm not your customer. That's all that means. Will I be one of Tracy's biggest donors? Absolutely, because I love donating. So should Tracy sell to me? Or should Tracy say, hey, I want you to donate and I want to promote you while you do it? Well, Tracy, say it again. I couldn't hear you stroke my ego. Do it again. I like the way you did that. I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm just telling you that's conversion. However that jives for you, you got to make that work for you. The problem is we have so much pride involved, and Deanna used to be the worst person for this because it's my company. No, it ain't. Tracy, that ain't your damn company. It's your customer's company. Every entrepreneur is a bit of a narcissist. You can't do this thing without being a bit of a narcissist. Everybody here has a grandiose self-view that you're going to save the world. Psychologically, that makes you crazy. It makes you crazy. Psychologically, it does. And you need it. You absolutely need it because some of you will change the world. And then you won't be a narcissist. You'll be a genius. Like after you win, you're a genius. When you don't win, you're a narcissist or a dreamer. But if you win, they call you a genius, and a lot of people show up at your funeral, and that's cool. You need to know how to change your language. Let me read this comment. What is you don't know? Oh, okay, I got it. I don't know why I read that like I was 2 years old. What if you don't know your avatar and have no avatar? So let's do that. Let's use Tracy and Deanna as an example. Wait, Deanna, do you know avatar? Do you know not who you're emulating, but do you know who your 2 customers are? The male, female type?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. Tracy, what about you? Do you know who your male, female customer are? Okay, they both don't. That's perfect. Good.
I'm sorry, I lie. I know who one of them are. They're me in the ages between 14 to like 25.
Okay, so this is perfect because Adonia knows exactly who she wants to reach. She don't know who she wants to emulate, but she knows exactly. Adonia know what they wearing, how many divorces they done had, and that's one. I think, was that you I told yesterday? Who I told yesterday, stop making excuses. I told one of y'all. It wasn't you. I was on the phone. I was like, look, man. I know who it was. Don't worry about it. They're not part of the network. Well, they are, but they're part of the outer network. I was like, you really want to keep blaming your mama? I don't understand this. See, I'm like the worst person, Tracy, to because I'm only going to take your complaining for so long. You gonna keep, ain't she dead? I said this. I did. And she's been dead for like a decade. Now you 50, you're almost 50. You're almost 50, angry at your dead mother. So don't find me offensive. You need to find that person offensive. Somebody had to call it out. And I was like, look, can you just do me a favor, tell me the divorce rate of America when they said some percentage? I said, okay, then. So you're not unique. Everybody you just said, got a divorce, came from a dysfunctional family. Congratulations. What are you going to do now? That's the truth. It's the truth. Nobody here is unique in your story. We all came from a dysfunctional family. All of us. So get over it. Stop being mad at you. Go ahead.
I know I sure did.
Yeah. You mad at your dead mama who grew up while you was growing up. I got no respect for that. I know. See, this is why they go to Phil and Susan to repair the little skin I done ripped off of them. Because this you still killing yourself. Like, you want me to look at you kill yourself and want me to be okay with that. I'm not participating in your long, boring suicide. I'm not doing it. So cut your mom some slack. And then I said, let me ask you a question. If I tell you, get yourself a break, how you feel? Oh, I feel terrible. Who taught you that? Who taught you that? Because you didn't come out the womb going, I'm just never going to give myself some slack. So as mean as you believe I may be, I'm actually the person, Tracy, kick your people, move, do something. And that's now the prelude into where I want to go now. If you don't know who your target audience is, cut yourself some slack. That's okay. Who cares? But Adonia does. But Adonia don't know how she want to brand it. Tracy and Deanna know exactly how they want to brand it. And both of y'all are equally dysfunctional. Congratulations. Neither of you are special. That's why I said the whole story.
Question.
Yes,
Okay. Like, I'm choosing your avatar.
Good.
Are there principles? I mean, you just say, okay, this is my avatar. It's gonna be me, or in choosing your avatar, what are the principles? How
it can be. It can be. I'll give you some right now.
Okay.
So you want to pick. So write down all of this stuff. Let's see. Title this in your notes. Categories and principles of choosing an avatar, right? Because it's a bunch. Her question had a lot of answers. One, let's start with the producing of your content first. I'm gonna work backwards, Tracy. I want to produce your content first without going into the psychology of it. I just want to produce the standard of your content. There's something called a VRIN score. VRIN, Victor, Romeo, India, November. VRIN. Some of you have been with me a while. You've heard me talk about this like years ago. It's been a long time. Number one is value. Number two is rarity. The I, so I said number, I should have said letter two. Letter I is inimitable. I'll explain what it means. And then the N, letter 4, is non-substitutional. Inimitable just means how far is it for my competitor to replicate this? The reason I'm successful is because you can't replicate what I do. You can't even afford to give away as much value as I do. Your business model is not the same as mine, right? I played a long-term game. Go ahead, Deanna.
Can you spell inimitable for me? I want to make sure.
My bad. Sure can. India.
I don't know what I'm doing.
India, November. India, Mike.
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
India, Mike. Okay.
India, Tango.
India, Tango.
Alpha, Bravo, Lima, Echo.
Alpha, Bravo, Lima, Echo.
You thank the Army for those phonetic alphabets.
And thank you.
All right. It's the only way I know how to do it, Jerome. I only know what the Army taught me. I don't know another way. Don't know another way.
Got it. Thank you.
Oscar Wiki. This is Whiskey Tango actual. That means the actual, right? All this stuff like that. Anyway, that's CEO. I mean, that's CEO, the sergeant or something. Inimitable. It means how. Well, let me break down each one. Value. So in order to choose your avatar, don't choose them first. I need you to choose how you're going to approach them. And I got you. It's actually written down in my notes. I just had to skip down 3 pages. But there you go. It's in chat too if you got. What else is there? Oh, yes. If you are trying to choose your avatar, don't. If you don't know your avatar, don't choose it. I need you to choose the way you're going to approach them. Do that first. It's easier this way. I know this from experience. It gives you more confidence. When you know you're putting out hot stuff, you got the confidence to choose the person you desire, right? You do something like that. Value. Oh, so I'm sorry. All this VRIM needs to be ranked from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. What this means, Tracy, is don't post nothing less than an 8. Is this valuable? Yes, but a 3, make it a blog. And make it a short one. Okay, see, Tracy, let me go back. Is this valuable? Well, it's about 3 on the value, make it a blog and make it a short one.
So wait a minute. When you say, is it valuable? Are you talking about like what you're thinking about talking about, or like a
value
video?
added to your consumer? Great question. I'm glad you made me answer that. Because the value has nothing to do with what I think it is. Has everything to do with what Tracy think it is. Forget my ego. Remember, it ain't my company. If Trinace finds it valuable, it was valuable. If Trinace finds it meh, that's what it was. If I give my best stuff to Trinace and it didn't work out, it wasn't my best stuff. I need to go get some Kanochi to get better. Ain't my best stuff. Or she ain't my customer, right? That's tomato there. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna keep breaking this down, Trace. I'm gonna keep breaking this down. I got you. I got you. I'm so glad you got the camera on. If I slow you out, if I go over your head or something, or if you're trying to connect something, most of the times y'all try to connect, it's because you don't have a program in there, or I'm messing with one of your social constructs. So your auto suggestion is trying to kick it out. It's not you not getting it. It's you're attached to something else. And it's having a hard time attaching to what I'm saying. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological, scientific name for that. Value. What does value mean? How much value does this provide to the person consuming it? And I'm saying don't post nothing, according to your brand, that's less than an 8. I didn't say, Susan, you need to be Steven Spielberg and get the 50,000 8K camera. It could be a 30-second, hey, I just want to drop this on you real quick. Is it valuable?
Hey, so how you determine it's an 8?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. This is obviously arbitrary. This is like, how does Tracy determine that one of her students' papers is a good one? She reaches up in the air and says, okay, this feels like an A. All right. This is what it is. This is what it is. All things are this way. It is, because remember, everything we're talking about doesn't even exist. All things are arbitrary. They don't exist but in your perception. While I'm going to give you steps and I'm going to unmuddy the waters, I need you to get that when the earth was making atmosphere, social media did not exist. We made it up. So you're looking for an exact science of something we made up. An A+ paper doesn't exist. It is completely to the preference and the frame of reference of that professor who is grading it. Now,
but
Mrs.
Smith.
Yeah, I got you.
If my perception sucks,
right. I was hoping that.
That means my harvest is going to reflect it.
Okay, Jerome, first off, that was the Bible. Amen. Okay. Okay. This is why I want you to start with your content first. And this is why I want you to find someone to emulate. Because now, Trinace, we're answering your question. You got to compare it to what they're putting out. Not in quality, but content engagement. Y'all feel me? Content engagement. Okay, go ahead. Sandra, I believe it was.
So here's my deal.
That was a great question, y'all. All y'all did good.
And I'm so glad it got asked, because that's what I was thinking. But I was, along with me thinking about that, when I show up and I do I give the information that I give.
Okay.
It's mainly because
Oh, you miss
I'm
so
thinking
much. You can
how
never
from
miss.
where
You can
I
never
came
log off
from.
and catch us. I'm sorry, Sandra. I just need to let her know you can never log off and think you don't miss nothing here. Keep going, Sandra.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. But I give it because I've been where most people are thinking they are not at,
That's fair.
or that they are, or that they are leaving, one or the other, because that's how abuse does you.
Okay.
And your
That's fair.
thought process, it has to be in thought first. Nobody that I know
Okay.
has been able to write down stuff like for real,
Okay. I
when
like
it
this. I
comes
like
to
this.
being in an abusive relationship. Because when you're in an abusive relationship, whoever that predator is,
Right.
they are not allowing you to have money. They are not allowing you to
Right.
write nothing down. That you need to be able to do it in code. It's a whole bunch of stuff you got to hide while you talk. It's a whole bunch. So the 8 and the 10 and knowledge wise, and it's just difficult to know when to actually
I get it.
start pushing out some stuff.
No, okay. So no. The answer to win is now. Like as soon as you peed this morning, you should have dropped some content. Like, as soon as you relieve your bladder, you should have dropped some content. So that's the answer. Yeah, for sure. But you bring up something very good. What if you're like Sandra and there's no lead person on abuse and the graphic details and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? That's true. Then you need to cross over genres. Lisa Nichols will be a great person for you, Sandra, because what she does is she builds women from the ground up, and not just women, but a lot. And what do people who've been abuse victims need? To be built over from the ground up. So while you don't need to do like speak, read, and write like she would do, that idea of you are enough can translate to every single thing in your abuse. So y'all need to learn how to cross genres. Just because someone doesn't exist in your field doesn't mean somebody's not doing the theme of what you're doing. Because there you go. Because the light is still the light. It may be a comedian doing some things. Me and Jordan Peterson have far more in common than me and Les Brown.
Now, what you just said a few minutes ago about being able to portray that or let people see that you're doing it, even if you're not doing the right. And I had someone come in and say that to me this weekend, and that was, I don't have to have anything to write or have anything there, because I had someone asking, when are my booklets going to be available to get, which I'm working on.
Fair enough.
And someone else came and said they're glad, because it's amazing how many people won't say that they're in that relationship, but when they come to you, they got to get the private space, and then they'll tell you, I'm in this situation or that situation, and I'm glad that you are at least there every week. So that right there felt good, hearing you second that emotion.
No
Just
doubt.
saying.
And a 12-step program should be one of your motivations then, because you're dealing with a lot of people who aren't admitting they're addicts. Everybody here is addicted. I told somebody this yesterday, and this is relevant for the business conversation. I was trying to tell a flaming narcissist, if I've ever seen one, that everybody is addicted to something. Your problem is, and I'm talking to this person, you're addicted to being an a-hole. And I didn't bleep my words. And you think, and I know I just triggered you, and I know you're mad, but you think that's a bad thing. I don't. Because you're so addicted to being an a-hole, you are so ready to change because you're so good at being addicted. If someone gives you another addiction, you would equally be addicted to that. So how about we train your mind to be addicted to joy? Hear me well, y'all. Y'all try to stop people from being addicted, but everybody on this planet is addicted to something. We have a thyroid gland to prove this. It is science. It's literally pumping our hormones just for us to be addicted to things. Phil's addicted to humor and positivity. Susan's addicted to health. Everybody's addicted to something, but we like to talk about crackheads, but we're all crackheads. You just can't see my addiction because it don't mess my body up.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all addicted to white sugar, which is poison. It's the worst poison. It kills more people than drugs do.
Mm-hmm.
White sugar kills more people than drugs do, by far. It makes a bunch of people that have amputees right now, amputated limbs because of white sugar. Now hear me. Since all of you are compulsively addicted to something, all it takes is a little snap. So get addicted to getting leads. Then you just take that addiction over here. Same energy for Sandra and everybody who has this question. I need to find my avatar, what I'm trying to do. You're already addicted. And you're already addicted to losing, or you're addicted to comfort. Okay. Look, get addicted to working on the leads of your company so you can get addicted to doing what you like to do. I can't, I don't even know how to tell you this because it's too, I talked to Deanna early this morning. I was up at 5. She did something yesterday. And I was like, remind me when you wake up. Let me tell you what you did yesterday. It was fantastic. And I've been trying to tell you this. It's fantastic. I was up at 5 working. And I told her, from now on, I only need you to do 2 things. I don't know if you want to say the first one, Deanna, because, okay, she says she don't care. She's going to tell you what the 2 things are. Go ahead.
Smoke weed and watch TV all day.
That's number 1.
And program you to go get these millions and billions of dollars.
Okay, that's it. Because this is what happened yesterday. That's it. Right? That's it. That's all I need you to do. All I need you, because yesterday she went in this little mansion or whatever, and she was FaceTiming me and stuff because I ain't going.
Oh my God, and it was beautiful. Oh, it was so. I've already started decorating it in my head.
Man.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah. Susan, I ain't going. I don't give a bleep about walking in no house. I don't even need to see one. Just what you like. Just tell me what you like. And I told her this morning that, and I complimented, I was like, see, that's the shit. Well, I was like, that's the shit I need. I need that. I need you to go do that. Because here's how my brain processes, Susan. My brain processed it that you walked into a place, filmed it, FaceTime. She even took Grace, got all happy about it because you believe I could pull it off. That's called programming, and I am addicted. I am absolutely 100% addicted to making things happen. But, and this is what I said, but I'm only going to make things happen to the level of my woman. See, everybody ain't hear me, Jerome. It's all right, though. It's all right.
I heard Uncle Romy wrong.
It's all right. And I'm trying to prove
he on the right track.
I'm trying to prove that we're all addicted to something. So if you fix your product first, that's going to raise your bar. And then if you switch your addiction to getting customers to that raised bar, we ain't got these problems no more. You ain't got these questions.
Mr. Smith, being I'm older than you.
Yes, sir.
This is something that I tell Alice.
Talk to me.
Being I'm older than you, and you can and you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I don't need you to believe in it. I need you to believe in me.
Ooh.
Come on now.
Come on, Uncle Romy, I hear you.
That's men thinking. I need to be programmed. You want to program me to $1 billion? Or you want to program me to or whatever, something far less.
That's on you, Deanna. Did you hear it?
I heard it loud. I heard him this morning loud and clear, and Uncle Rum, I just heard you loud and clear. I got it. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Tracy, Janice, this VRIN is the basis of the programming. Y'all, I'm not ranting. I am using stories to make a point and making a point to use a story. That's all I'm doing. Go ahead, Deanna.
Okay. So something just hit me.
Yeah.
The VRIN score is not just for the content that you put out, but the VRIN score can also be used for your relationships.
Yes.
So V, how much value do I add to this relationship?
Okay. Okay, good.
R, can he or she find anything else like me anywhere else?
We.
N, can I be substituted? Oh, I forgot inimitable. And inimitable. How hard is it for somebody to complete or replicate?
To do what I do. To replicate what I do for you. Sure, you can cook healthy food, but you're not about to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, pray, then meditate, then fill some greens and the quinoa. See, anybody can fill food. Susan do it in a way that can't be replicated.
We had a girl try to do that in our office. Tried to take over everything, and he was too stupid to see it, but I saw it, and I was on fire about it.
I'm sure you was. I've made such a mistake before myself.
Yeah.
I am a stupid man. As you can see, I understand. I understand. And I'm sure she does not work with human consultants.
What we're not going to do.
As you can understand.
He doesn't, but it took me a while for him to understand that. He didn't see it. He didn't see any of it.
But such a positive mindset, it comes off as, look what I attracted, some great survey.
Me being a woman, seeing this other woman, it's like in our office, thinking when she started instant messaging our kids or whatever it was back then, that was in the beginning of, I'm like, what? You know what? Is this woman talking to my children? Yeah, and that's what,
I'm going to show you how the real brilliant tapping on the call.
Time to cut the snake off. Time to cut the head off the snake at that point. You went too far.
Let me show you the real brilliance, Jerome. Phil, smiling, ain't said a word. That's the real brilliance. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the real brilliance.
She's just being nice. No, the women in the office there called and told me and warned me.
Make it sense. There will always be some. There'll always be an Antonio trying to take Jamal. It'll always be. I try to use same gen. I ain't trying to speak nothing over. Jamal ain't gonna let me take him, so I was trying to not to speak nothing over nobody.
Women can be slick. Women are very smart. Men, the weaker sex, they can manipulate and do all kinds of things. If
Tyler Perry say women so good at cheating that she could be married for 30 years, having an affair for 40. Go ahead.
I think it's the other way around. I think women are more faithful.
Y'all are smarter though. If you do something, you're definitely smarter. Yeah. That's for sure. Go ahead, Phil.
Todd Rundgren has a song. Men are stupid, women are evil. That's just the way it's got to be. Happy anniversary.
I have to agree.
And then the lyrics is, men will drag you to their den, and their feelings they won't share, and for years they do not care. Men are stupid. Women will use their sex to put a yoke around your neck, and when they want you to change, and when you don't, they'll hold you to blame. Women are evil.
So we're all dung. Paul says that, by the way. Paul says our righteousness is like that of dung. Paul does say that. And Martin Luther, the reformer, the great reformer, even though he didn't try to reform the church, wrote a great paper on it called the two types of righteousness. But anyway, sorry. My nerd comes out every now and then. I put something else out here. This is answering your question, Janice. I gotta pick my avatar. Once you get your Vren stuff down, I'm gonna come back and explain Vren just a little bit more. Once you do that,
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I put my link out there. Could you just click on it real quick and tell me if I'm doing any of that according to my brand? Since we've been working together and all, and you're about to get my site. So am I doing anything right? I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who my customer, my audience is. I'm just putting stuff up there that I feel.
Fair enough. You know
what I mean?
Oh, yeah. In fact, and then me and Deanna had a conversation about you. That thing, the big old project you sent me. Yeah. That's gonna be like next month or something. I looked through everything this weekend. That's a lot. Oh, that's a whole lot. Yeah, that's a whole lot. That's actually a whole nother thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In itself. I'm gonna go through, break everything down. But what's probably gonna happen is you're gonna probably have to have a front-ended database, but we'll talk about it. But it's definitely a month-long project.
Oh my God. Okay.
So let's break down value, rarity, inimitable, and then non-substitutional. So before I put a page back up, let's break these down. So what does value mean? Is it valuable? So is anything on her page valuable? Does it provide value to the consumer? From first glance? Okay, this is valuable. One post. I'm sorry, like I said, for people in audio. Reduce stress and maintain a healthy sleep routine for healthy kidneys. And then she has 5 steps. And it looks like you can do this, tips for grocery savings. And it says, make a list and stick to it, compare prices between stores, take advantage of save coupons, buy in bulk when possible, plan ahead for meals and snacks. That's valuable. How valuable? Debatable, but that's valuable. Okay, so upon first glance, there's nothing else on her website, her social media that's valuable. Nothing else that's valuable. So we got so this guy with the broken toes definitely catching the attention, broken nail here. Let's see if you got a caption. Ingrown toenails are common conditions. It results in pain, redness, ingrown toenails used. So this would have been valuable had you gave tips 99 weeks ago of how to get this done, where to go, etc. But what you did was you showed me your book without adding value.
Oh Lord.
Okay, that's what you did.
Have no
All
idea.
right. No, I'm glad you volunteered. Can y'all see how this is working? Can you see how this is working? It's working because of value. Let me pause right here. We're gonna go like 20 minutes, but let me get Phil and Susan to tell y'all about what we're doing tonight. I got a stupid lock in my ear trying to.
And check the message I just sent you all, Mr. Phil and Miss Susan, tell us what we're doing tonight.
Okay, then.
Oh, it's in the chat, Zoom chat.
Oh. Okay, tell him I need 15 minutes. Tell him I didn't even know he was today. I did see your message though, so that's my fault. I got a meeting in 15 minutes, apparently. Go ahead, Phil.
Continuing with the politics of love, the next chapter we're going to cover is to be blessed.
I changed the shower curtain because it got messed up.
All right, I took care of it. No, keep talking, Phil. She unmuted by accident.
Oh, okay. To be blessed, be a blessing. And then it's a trumped up crisis. And then war and peace, fighting the prophets of war.
Now that interesting. She's going to do that. Very interesting. Okay.
And then wins and challenges.
Wins and challenges. All right. I like
which
that.
is for us to cross-pollinate what we're teaching. And you know, during this whole discussion, what we're talking about is, and I've talked about this earlier, the difference between content and context.
Yeah.
Content, everybody can get content. Now we have AI. You want content? You got more content than you could do in this lifetime, or if you're Shirley MacLaine or in any other lifetime. It's context is where the rubber hits the road. And the better defined you have your avatar, the easier and quicker you can get to the content.
Absolutely.
To that avatar through the context.
Absolutely.
So the context is what's important. Content, everybody can get content. Can you get the right context to the person at the right time, the right way, whereas they perceive it as valuable? And what you have, I want so badly that I'll give you my money.
Boom. Boom. Spot on. That's that right gazelle. Right gazelle. I'm going to break all these things down more tomorrow. We're going to start here, Deanna. Everything in the chat that I put, this last thing, the VRIN and it's digitizing and humanizing sales funnels, all of this I need to begin with tomorrow. And I want you to hear sales funnels as some sort of sales thing. Just know I have no choice but to call it a sales funnel because that's what it is. There's every day I walk into Walmart or any supermarket, you walk into a sales funnel. Whatever the holiday is, on the front end by those registers, those things are there on the store. If it's 4th of July, you're going to see charcoal. Like you're not even going to walk past the registers. It would be charcoal, beer, soda, and coolers. That is a sales funnel. But it don't come off as sales. It come off as convenience. Oh, I ain't got to walk way back there.
That's why I can't get started.
That's somebody like me going, hey man, if you put that up front, man, we can raise to the bottom line. And that's what it does, because it increases the bottom line sales because there's no labor with that. There's no labor attached to the only labor attached to putting chocolate up front is that you pay somebody $9 an hour and they did it for 30 minutes. So that's $5, $4.50 you pay somebody for thousands of people to get charcoal. It's just literally free money. That's what we call bottom line. Bottom line is the money you got. Like it's an old school thing. You know, you write your ledger, and at the very bottom line was the money, the real money. You know, the profit, the margin, what you had left over on the bottom line of your ledger. That's old school stuff. Some of y'all grandmothers think had that loud calculator that had that thermal paper that that wobbled and they had that in that green book with them little lines, some squares and stuff. Yeah, I probably had that. That's where bottom line comes from. So to understand this particular process, what we have to do the same thing. How do we create a Donia Incorporated Enterprises.com? I always give her extra names to her company, and none of this is her company name. To where people go, oh, that's convenient. You looking out for me instead of you selling me. It's called humanizing your brand. But I have to call it a sales funnel because I can assure you that if Florida has a hurricane, God forbid, but life, toilet paper and water are going to be up front quickly. Some losers are going to price gouge and raise those prices. It's just the way it's going to be. That's a sales funnel, whether we think of it that way or not, sales funnel. So here, I want you to follow human psychology, which is something I like to talk about all the time, the 3rd date rule. The reason why Tracy trusts my information and why I trust Tracy and I trust her information is because we've been dating for more than 10 hours, business dating. This means we've been sharing each other's consumptions to where we trust each other. You need to take people on a 10-hour excursion with you. This is why I start off with the VRIN, Janice. How you do that is up to you. Do you take the VRIN and do 1-minute videos? Sure. Just know, I don't know how many 1 minute goes into 10 hours, but that's how many you got to do. But that's how many you got to do. Or do you want to do, this is why I do long form content, because I'm like Marianne Williamson in this particular case when Phil brought up earlier, I'm shifting my audience. If you got this far in the video, we go together. If you cut off in 5 minutes, you wouldn't go buy from me anyway. The only people who listen to me are the people who convert. Because you can't sit through 2 hours and be like, I ain't like him. That's the exact opposite of sitting through 2 hours. Yeah. You get it? I'm doing this shifting my audience. I'm shifting
You
my
punching
audience.
us in our face.
Well,
we
y'all ask the
2
questions. Y'all ask the questions. That's what I'm doing. Doesn't matter how you do it. My long form content gets me less customers than Tracy will have, but I have the right customers. See, Wednesday, I'm getting ready to launch. I will have something to sell, right? Probably about Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna launch a new business. That it's not new, actually. It's just ATS Leads revamped. It's just, I mean, with artificial intelligence, I could do far more than I could do before. To be honest with you, that's what it is. But I have something to sell now. Does Jerome want 2,000 quick sales of his book real quick? Sounds like this company is his guy, right? Things like that. So when you get this, Tracy, I gotta get people to spend money with me. But I need you with me for 10 hours. So how do you shorten that time? Well, some people don't need 10 hours. Some people just need 10 hours of value in 1 minute. This means when Phil buys something on the first time, that's because Phil, this is the pioneers. Adonia's a pioneer. I got it broken down. Well, I don't have it. That's the statistics. I didn't make this up. Pioneer, early adopters, pragmatists, late majority laggards. That's not my stuff. That's like Garage Millionaire, whatever stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. It's out there now. Adonia sits in at 2.5%. Phil sits in at 2.5%. Antonio sits in at 2.5%. I think that's everybody on this call that fits in that Janice fits in at 2.5%. These are people who don't need you to pump and prime them. They don't mind buying prototypes. Typically, truthfully, all y'all fit is 2.5%, but some of y'all teeter back and forth between early adapters and that. And what that means, Tracy, simple. If I borrow from you the first time, not only do I have an affinity for high risk or medium risk, but I've been praying for this damn thing you're talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I've been with this solution. I have been dating for 10 hours. I just been looking for it. 10 years, really. You done came up with it. I buy right now. I don't know what you said. I buy. I just want you still telling me I don't need all these features. I need this one. This is the one thing I've been looking for. So how do you simulate that? With a lot of content. Content truly is your 24-hour, 7-day-a-week salesperson that never complains. I prefer video content for 2 reasons. Both of them are psychological. Reason number 1, the fastest way to build trust on this planet is face-to-face. On the internet, you can't get face-to-face. So video is the closest simulation of that. This is still a belly-to-belly business, whether you like it to be or not. Number 2, I'm a Black man, and I want people knowing I'm a Black man up front. And let me tell you, it ain't white people who have a problem with me being a Black man. It's my people who have a problem with me being a Black man. I want the truth. It's the truth, because I talk about subjects that other nationalities talk about. So Black people can't handle me talking about stocks. I know, it's just psychology. You just can't handle me talking about big business. Wait a minute, he don't look like the European man or whatever. So I do that up front. I do it up front because I like all my objections up front. I got to wrap this up. Remember that emotionalism wears off. This is what Adonia don't like. And she likes it wears off because she's never in her emotions, even though she's always emotional. Adonia is always in her emotions. But when it comes to business, got dog it, been burnt before, I ain't gonna do it. I love customers like her because their BS radars are so sensitive that if you pass, what you have is what's called a lifetime customer. Y'all met these lifetime customers. Susan said, Mom, won't you just go to Sprint? I've been with AT&T since she was in diapers. Ain't going nowhere. AT&T till death. But Mama, you're paying a high rate. Don't matter. I'm with AT&T. I know how AT&T gonna treat me. I love these type of customers. And this is the only customers that you're actually going to have in your organization. I got 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left. When you do what I'm saying, you're building lifetime customers because it's about humanizing your brand. Gary Vee has a video. I don't have time to play it, but it was a fireside chat he did about 4 or 5 years ago. And he exclaims that the internet commoditized everything. Only brand will last now. And I don't just agree. That is proven to be true. If you don't have a brand, the internet person has moved on from you, Jerome. Completely. Why? Because everybody out here now. The truth is, if the internet, if buying stuff, if I'm looking for dopamine, which is like a O feeling, I can't say it because I saw kids in Penelope's background. Right? You know, the big O, that's dopamine. The reason why you want more big O's, because dopamine is fleeting. I need more. When you find the love of your life, that's serotonin. I don't need no more. You get it? Two different happinesses. If your brand, every video is dopamine, I'm looking for the serotonin. I'm looking for the adonia. Then I say, I don't need nobody else. I'm good. I was in that group. I'm in hers now. Sorry. Can only do one group at a time. That's who we want, guys. That's exactly who we want. And that's exactly what we want people doing. So we'll pick up here tomorrow, and I'm going to continue over and over and over. And I just copy and paste. Look, create longer content, repurpose your materials, video blogs, be a master of reader, build a community. If you watch, make money, stop prepping. I got all of this down. I got math for you. I got all sorts of stuff. I am not in any circumstances not prepared to give you top quality information. It's already written down. You can't plant better. You can't dominate. We see you all at 5:30 Central Standard Time. Love you, everybody.
Love you more. Thank you.
Oh, very welcome.
See you all tonight.
Right, have a good one.